My name is Nate Parker. Welcome to 44 Cocktails. Today we're going to talk about infusions. Infusions is one of my personal favorites, so let's get it. So now the first thing about, well, I did want to say this. These are some equipments that I use to infuse, which you can go all the way very non-expensive, all the way to very expensive, depending on what you want to do. So I want to give you just like a couple of tricks and tips on how to infuse something if you want to do something for friends or family, or if you got a holiday coming up, maybe 4th of July. You know, you can do something real quick and make a fun cocktail for everybody. First, infusions, it's not hard at all to do. A lot of people think that it's some type of technique or something. It's really not. If you want to get more detailed into it, then you're going to need a little bit more different type of equipment. But for most of all, you just kind of need a mason jar. I'll give you a list of some of the things I've used in a mason jar. So I got a list of them. So I did horseradish and celery seed tequila, which I let it sit in there for about 12 hours. And keynote, when it comes to certain very strong, like a jalapeno or horseradish or habanero, or things that like fruits or vegetables or things that have a very strong, overpowering taste, you don't really need to let it sit in your spirit that long. For instance, I'll take a jalapeno. If you chop up one jalapeno and put it with about 2 ounces of Blanco tequila, you let it sit for about 20 minutes, it'll be spicy. Now, it depends on how your spice level is. If you like it real spicy, you let it sit longer. If you like it kind of spicy, just after 20 minutes, taste it. And then you can let it go on for sort. If you want it real spicy, put more jalapenos, as so forth and so forth. So if you know, horseradish is going to be strong, habanero is going to be really strong too as well. But back to the things I made in just the mason jar. So I made horseradish tequila. I made a horseradish mezcal. I made a jalapeno mezcal. I also made a pineapple cinnamon sticks and Campari mix. And I made, this was kind of crazy, I made a beet sour cherry gin. And I used all this when I was first starting out with just a mason jar. So all you do is put maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces, put it in here, let it sit, seal it super tight, put it in a dark area, you're good to go. Now, I also have something here. It's called, the name of it is Ethan and Ashe, which is a very, actually this is one of my favorite ones as well. So what you do is, you unscrew the top, and you actually put your herbs or spices in here, lock it back in, screw it back on top, and then you pour the spirit in there, and then you let it sit. So I've infused rosemary, basil, green tea, chai tea. So I've done a lot with this one, which comes in handy if I want to do something more herbal. I can use this, and the spices and herbs won't kind of seep into my tequilas or gins or vodkas. Now, to the big boy, the Anova. So this is more like, so with a lot of these, you're gonna have to let it sit for maybe a few hours depending on what it is, or maybe even a day, or maybe even 2 days. With the Anova or the Sous Vide, that cuts it in half. So what you do is you fill it all the way up with water, you airtight bag, whatever your spirit is that you're trying to infuse, let it sit, you put it at a certain temperature, and then it'll infuse it at that boiling temperature for, let's say, 3 to 4 hours, maybe 2 hours, depending on how dense the fruit or the vegetable is with the spirit. And also another thing is that the easiest thing to start off with when you're doing infusion is, I would say, a Blanco tequila, your vodkas, some gins. Those are Blanco tequilas and vodkas are kind of going to be the most easiest ones. No flavor vodka, no flavor gin. I mean, gin has juniper in it, but like no flavor tequila, and no flavor vodka. And you can take those and you can kind of play with your mixtures when you do with that. So it's easy, simple, fun. Like I said, you can do a spicy tequila margarita, let it sit there for a few minutes, and you're good to go. So hope this helped you out with your infusions. If you do some infusions, let me know. Shoot me a DM. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll talk to you later, and you stay out of trouble, please.